Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're going deep today with some really cool excerpts from Echotruth, Ethics, Inheritance, and Social Conduct.
Oh, Echotruth, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at Volume 2, Chapter 5 this time. It's called Swords and Shields, The Battle of Ethics.
Sounds intense.
It is. There is a lot to unpack here about inheritance, social conduct, and personal responsibility. It's really fascinating stuff.
I'm ready. Let's dive in.
Okay, so right off the bat, the text talks about the treatment of orphans.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's pretty hardcore about it. It doesn't just say, be nice to orphans. It really paints this vivid picture of the consequences if you exploit them.
Like what does it say?
Well, it talks about swallowing fire and smoke.
Nice.
And having restless nights of disturbed sleep.
Oh, wow. So it's really emphasizing the internal turmoil that comes with mistreating vulnerable people.
Exactly. It's not just about outward punishment. It's like you're inflicting a spiritual wound on yourself.
That's deep.
And it goes on to lay out this really structured approach to guardianship, like returning their possessions and making sure they get an education.
Interesting.
It even suggests things like adoption or marrying a parent to provide stability.
Wow. That's a pretty involved system.
Yeah. Makes you think, how could we adapt these principles today to help vulnerable populations?
Right. Because there are a lot of challenges in the modern world, too.
Absolutely. Now, shifting gears a bit, Echotruth gets super specific about inheritance.
Oh, yeah. Inheritance. That's always interesting.
It is. And they have this very clear system. 2/3 goes to the spouse, and the other third is split equally among the children.
Makes sense.
It even covers situations with blended families and what happens if there are no kids.
So they really thought of everything.
They did. And one thing that stood out to me was that it forbids disinheritance.
Oh, wow. So you can't just cut someone out of the will?
Nope. And there's a huge emphasis on equal treatment for sons and daughters.
Huh. That was pretty progressive, especially back then.
Right. I wonder how that would even work in today's world, with all the complexities of modern families and laws.
Yeah, good point. It would be interesting to see how those principles could be applied today.
For sure. Speaking of complex, the text then goes into relationships and sexuality, and I have to say, it's surprisingly nuanced.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, it acknowledges female relationships, which I found interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes a distinction with male-male relationships. It says that those don't serve the purpose of procreation.
Ah, I see. Well, it is an ancient text, and we have to keep that historical context in mind, right?
Absolutely. It's fascinating to see how they grappled with these issues back then.
Totally.
One thing that's crystal clear is that incest is a big no-no.
Oh.
Absolutely forbidden, and not just with blood relatives.
Really?
Yeah, it also includes step-parents and adoptive parents, and it doesn't just state the rule.
Oh?
It goes into the potential negative consequences, even talking about the biological risks.
So they were aware of those issues as well.
It seems so. It's like they're trying to ground their ethics in a practical understanding of human behavior and well-being.
That makes sense. It's interesting how they connect those things together.
And it resonates with a lot of the concerns we have today about consent, abuse, and all the complexities of families.
For sure. It's fascinating how these ancient ideas can still be so relevant.
So we've covered orphans, inheritance, and relationships.
That's a lot.
But wait, there's more. Echotruth goes on to talk about broader ethical principles.
Okay, like what?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting to me. It talks about taking personal responsibility and connecting that to the idea of reaping what you sow.
Ah, karma.
Yeah, exactly. And it gets surprisingly specific sometimes, like talking about hygiene while traveling.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, and things like being impartial in your judgments and avoiding slander. It's like a guide to ethical living.
It's like they're saying ethics isn't just about big decisions. It's about how you live your life every day.
Yes, it's like this ancient wisdom is telling us that every action, every word, every thought matters.
It's about making conscious choices.
Exactly. And Echotruth seems to be saying that these choices create a ripple effect that goes way beyond ourselves.
That's powerful.
It is. It's like this idea of interconnectedness, that we're all connected, and our actions affect the whole web of life.
I like that. So what happens next?
Yeah, and it's like this idea of interconnectedness, right? Our choices ripple outward.
It's a powerful thought, and Echotruth goes even further with this. It talks about the darker side of that connection, like rumors and slander.
Oh, how so?
Well, it says that they can really disrupt harmony and even cause real harm.
That makes sense. Like gossip and stuff, it can spread so quickly.
Right. It can lead to mistrust and just create so much negativity.
It's like a virus almost.
And what's interesting is that Echotruth doesn't just talk about the people who start rumors, it also talks about how we react to them.
Oh, I see. So, like, even if we hear something juicy, we shouldn't just automatically believe it. Exactly. We have to be critical, think for ourselves.
Especially now with social media and everything, it's so easy for misinformation to spread.
Totally. We have to be careful about what we believe and what we share.
It's about taking responsibility for the information we put out there.
And Echotruth seems to be pushing for a more mindful approach. Like, question what you hear, find reliable sources,
Don't just blindly accept everything.
Yeah. It's like a call to be more discerning, more aware.
We have to be critical thinkers, especially with so much information coming at us all the time.
It can be overwhelming, but we have to be in control of our own information intake.
We have a choice.
Yes. Now, speaking of choices, Echotruth also dives into the people we choose to surround ourselves with.
Yeah, our company. That's a big one.
It is. It specifically warns against being misled by people who advocate for bad things or who are just hypocritical.
Yeah, you don't want those kinds of influences in your life.
It's like that saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Our company shapes us.
No doubt. So what does Echotruth say about dealing with those relationships where maybe your values don't perfectly align?
It encourages peace and understanding, like offer your perspective with kindness, even if it's not received well.
So it's not about forcing your beliefs on others, it's about having respectful dialogue.
Right. And sometimes the most ethical thing is to just walk away from a relationship that's not healthy.
It's about choosing your battles and putting your energy into the relationships that lift you up.
Exactly. And that choice applies to everything, not just people, but also the causes we support, what we read and watch, even our thoughts.
It's like we have the power to shape our reality, both inside and out.
And with that power comes responsibility.
Huge responsibility. And Echotruth talks about that too, especially when it comes to the value of life.
Oh yeah, nonviolence is a big deal in this text.
It says taking a life is forbidden unless it's for self-defense.
Makes you think about the sanctity of life.
It does. And it goes further than just intentional harm. It also talks about being careful and not causing harm through negligence.
So even in little everyday things, we have to be mindful of our actions.
And how they might affect others. It all comes back to that interconnectedness, right?
Wow, this chapter is blowing my mind. We've covered so much, from orphans to slander to nonviolence.
It's a lot to process. So as we get ready to wrap up, what are your big takeaways from this deep dive?
For me, it's the emphasis on personal responsibility. It seems to be at the core of everything in Echotruth.
Yeah, I see that too. From the way we treat others, to the words we speak, to even the thoughts we have. We are accountable.
It's like this call to action, to step into our power and really use it for good.
And that's both empowering and a bit scary.
It is empowering because we can make a difference, and scary because, wow, our choices really do matter.
Yeah, it is kind of a scary thought, but also inspiring. We have so much power to choose our path.
That's Echotruth for you. It's all about taking that power and using it to make a positive impact.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we're not just individuals, but part of something so much bigger. And that brings us back to the core message, really.
Right, this idea that our choices have these ripple effects. They shape not just our own lives, but society as a whole.
It's a huge responsibility. And it reminds us that ethical living isn't just about feeling good. It's about contributing to a better world.
It's like we're all weaving this giant tapestry together, Each choice is like a thread.
And the quality of those threads, the intentions behind them, they determine what the final tapestry will look like.
What's amazing to me is how relevant this ancient text is to our modern world.
Oh, totally. Like those core values, kindness, honesty, integrity, they're timeless.
They really are. So how do we take all this ancient wisdom and actually apply it to our daily lives?
Well, I think it starts with just being aware. Paying attention to our thoughts, our words, our actions.
And thinking about how they might affect others.
Exactly. It's about making conscious choices, even in those little everyday moments.
It's like choosing kindness over anger, honesty over convenience.
It's about showing up as our best selves, not just when it's easy, but all the time.
And it's okay if we mess up sometimes, right?
Of course. We're all human. We're all learning and growing. The important thing is to learn from our mistakes and keep trying.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly. And that's what makes Echotruth so hopeful, It reminds us that we have the power to choose our path, to make a difference.
To create a world that's more just, more compassionate.
As we wrap up, I have a question for you.
Oh, I like where this is going. Hit me with it.
How do you think we can use the principles of nonviolence and truth-seeking to deal with conflicts, both in our personal lives and in the world around us?
Wow, that's a powerful question, and one that I hope our listeners will really think about.
It's a reminder that these ancient ideas aren't just theories. They're tools we can use to make real change.
By choosing understanding over division, kindness over aggression, we can start to build a world that reflects the wisdom of Echotruth.
That's beautifully said.
Well, that wraps up another deep dive into Echotruth. Thanks for joining us on this journey.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll be back soon with more fascinating topics to explore. Until then, keep seeking knowledge, keep asking questions, and keep striving to live a life that matters.